To the parallel demonstrations that were called for by the opposition, and what this portends entirely for the talks that were called for between the president and the former prime minister?
You know, I think we're dealing with a team that keeps shifting the goalposts, because even just the issue of going out to the streets, the reason of demonstrating it kept on changing. You know, at one point they were saying we must reinstate Cherera 4. That was one reason. Then they came back to the IBC constitution. Then it was the cost of living. And then it was, you know, it's just been shifting. Finally, when both leaders, our president actually came out and said, you know what, I talk to anyone and everyone. And so I'm willing to talk to you guys. So, you know, let's have a conversation. And it was agreed upon. You know, it is not Kenya Kwanza that said we are going to form a committee. It is actually the ODM group that actually proposed that they would like to have a committee so that the dialogue can be structured within that committee. And it was agreed upon by both parties that that committee was going to be a parliamentary committee, because the issues that they were raising can only be changed in parliament. You know, if it's about the constitution, the selection panel of IEBC, that can only be changed in parliament through legislation. So then both parties agreed to have this committee within parliament. So they were told, you know, you can front your members within parliament who are going to sit in the committee, which they did. We saw that the list of the parliamentarians was actually from the National Assembly and the Senate was actually fronted by ODM. And at that moment, it is important, by the way, for you to note that at the moment when ODM gave their list, yesterday, I heard them saying, now we have added so-and-so as secretary, so-and-so as who. We want people from the civil society. When they gave their list based on the agreement that both parties had, because it was supposed to be within parliament as both parties had agreed, you could tell that they were agreeable that it was going to be parliamentarians. So yesterday's press conference with the same parliamentarians actually trying to pull in civil society and make this a sort of BBI structure, some, you know, amorphous situation where we are now going to start campaigns and whatever that is. You know, it's completely dishonest of that team. And I'll tell you something. From our end,
what are the civil societies here you are talking about? They named Paul Mwangi?
You see, there is a push.
Jeremiah Kioni.
There's a, yes.
Okay.
We talk about business community and civil society. Okay. There is a push, and that's why I'm saying that ODM is completely, they're being dishonest. If indeed they wanted those people to be part of the bipartisan talks, then they would have even named them, or they would have pushed for that and agreed to that within the first, you know, conversation where we were saying we are structuring a committee in parliament. And then we could have seen those names, you know. So even from their end, they keep saying, oh, you know, Kenya Kwanza is not honest. From their end, they are not honest. We gave a parliamentary committee.
Okay.
The next thing that now they started saying, oh, we were expecting, you people are not taking us seriously. You know, for me, it's like, anyone who has made it to parliament through an elective process, and you know, even me, I'm a special elect, by the way, because nominated is within that elective process to meet the two-third gender. You can't come back and say, you know, Gloria is less serious than so-and-so. And then now there is even a demand that in order for us to move forward, they want to remove Canaan from our committee. At what point then do you actually when you envision everything that's happening, they are not interested in the actual talks, because I can tell you, they should have allowed for the talks to happen. We've not even had the first meeting of the bipartisan committee. They should have had the first meeting. They should have, you know, you give a process a chance.
Thank you.
And then at one point you say, by the way, we actually did not want to say this in the beginning, that these people are not serious.
Okay.
But judging by the meetings that we have had, we can tell you for a fact that Gloria Orwoba, for instance, cannot conduct conversation.
Okay.